Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first two readers, Rodrigo Figueroa and Christina Miller. And if you two will please make your way up here while I read your brief introductions. Rodrigo was born and raised in Mexico City. He's a poet, a playwright, translator, and cultural critic. He's published 3 books of poetry, an essay on Mexican poetry, and musical, cultural, and literary criticism in Mexican and American newspapers and magazines. And he's won 2 international poetry awards. He's currently a doctoral student of Hispanic literature here at OU, as is Christina Miller. She works primarily on contemporary Latin American prose, specializing in detective fiction. Her translation of Alberto Fuguet's essay on Andres Caicedo will appear in the May issue of World Literature Today, which is out soon. Please help me welcome Rodrigo and Christina.
Hi, good evening. Unfortunately, Christina was not able to be here tonight, so if any native speaker of English could help me reading my...
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Oh, great. So, please.
You want me to go?
Yep, please. Okay, so I'm going to read a brief selection of poetry that was published in 2013 by New Mexico State University. This book is called Una Frontera Transparente, transparent border, and it deals with the fact of being a Mexican and in the United States and how to contest the idea of citizenship and identity. Okay, so most of the poems have no titles. ¿Cómo liberar tanto vacío de tan limitado cuerpo? No hay boca ni voz posible para nombrar tu figura en el espejo. Tu inacariciable remanencia repta por debajo de la cama, donde las tarántulas repiten el terrible sacrificio de estar enamoradas. Tu ausencia es un cuerpo anochecido, reencontrado en una bóveda helada, con una desnudez carente de sentido, estúpida y ridícula. El cuerpo enraizado en sí mismo, con el alma surcando estérilmente la carne pálida. Cubro tu piel con adjetivos, porque no hay ropa suficiente para calentar la gélida materia que te infesta, que roe las caricias extranjeras. Te embozo con verbos para ti ignotos, para que regreses a tu casa, a donde la sangre se concentra en una reverberación de la palabra. Se desliza hacia el vacío, hacia la innombrable raíz de la creación. Un surco en que la semilla penetra líquida entre las zanjas de la carne. En el silencio contenido, el aire fluye hacia su alumbramiento. Aún entre el abrazo de las tinieblas, sabe que el corte no será del todo doloroso. Por más que busco en mi médula, en sus glándulas, no tengo nada que decir. Hablo para poblar una noche itinerante, para robarle sus manchas al jaguar, para crearme unos huesos de cristal. Hacia la frontera me empujaste, hacia el encuentro con el vacío y las entrañas. Te pregunté hacia qué moléculas inconclusas apuntaban tus palabras desilvanadas. Nada pudo hacerse. En la línea, solo la carne se expandía hacia los límites desdibujados de la muerte. Este poema sí tiene título, Bucólica, y un epígrafe de Virgilio de su égloga sexta, que dice: porque canto cómo estaban confundidos en el inmenso vacío los elementos. Los pasos boyales constelan la tierra que se desgrana, se reformula en matriz abierta, plena de futuro. Sus conjeturas minerales del porvenir que arribará a las lenguas son apenas sospechadas por la mirada mohína del animal que se salvó del matadero, oh aciago yugo. El sol distiende la carne pétrea, escocida por un paraíso que en la tierra nunca se ha encontrado. ¿Para quién es este futuro seminal, este trasiego inacabable? ¿En qué núcleo tan amargo se esconden los mares entre tan nefandos puertos? El cabestro circula sobre la tierra, incansable, indiferente, resignado, a esperar la médula de la simiente, que de tan acerba da placidez al cuerpo cansado de recorrer el verso amelgado por un desconocido labriego aprisionado en su fantasía. And now the translations. Por favor.
The first one is on page 6 of the book that you're all going to buy after. How to liberate such a void from such a limited body? There is no mouth nor voice possible to name your figure in the mirror. Your untouchable remnants creep under the bed, where the tarantulas repeat the terrible sacrifice of being in love. Second one is from page 25. Your absence is a benighted body, re-encountered in a frozen vault with a senseless nakedness, stupid and ridiculous. The body rooted in itself, with the soul furrowing sterilely through pale flesh. I cover your skin with adjectives because there are no clothes sufficient to warm up the frigid matter that infests you, that gnaws away at foreign caresses. I cover you up with verbs unknown to you so that you return to your house, to where the blood is concentrated in a reverberation of the word. Number 3 is from page 29. It slips towards the void, toward the unnameable root of creation, a groove in which the seed penetrates liquid between the trenches of flesh in the restrained silence. The air flows towards its birth, still in the embrace of the shadows, knowing that the cut will not be all pain. Page 31. As much as I search in my marrow, in its glands, I do not have anything to say. I speak to populate an itinerant night, to steal the spots from the jaguar, to create bones of crystal. And page 51. Toward the limit you pushed me, toward the encounter with the void and its entrails. I asked you towards what incomplete molecules were you aiming your unraveled words. Nothing could be done. In the line, only the flesh was expanding toward the blurred limits of death. And finally, bucolic, the named poem. The footprints of the oxen spangle the earth that sheds its grain, reforms itself in open womb, full with the future. The mineral conjectures of the future that will arrive at the tongues are barely suspected by the mournful gaze of the animal that saved itself from the slaughterhouse. Oh, ill-omened yoke. The sun distends the stony flesh, inflamed by a paradise that in the earth has never been found. For whom is this seminal future, this interminable bustle? In what core so bitter do the seas hide themselves between such loathsome ports? The bullock travels around the earth, tireless, indifferent, resigned, to await the pith of the seed that from such bitterness gives peace to the body, exhausted from travelling across the unevenly sown verse by an unknown peasant, imprisoned in his fantasy.
Thank you to Rodrigo, and thank you for that step-in by the incomparable Janet Lucy. Another round of applause.